Hello and welcome! The map is Cloud Kingdom. I only know because of these orange little squiggles all over the center part of the map. And our players! In the bottom left-hand corner as the red Zerg, we have LiquidTLO. And in the top right-hand side, as blue, we have a name that I am not even going to bother trying to pronounce, but we will call him Ben for short. So, we have Ben for short, our blue Zerg. But we might just call him Ben instead of Ben for short, because that's slightly shorter. And we have the good luck, have funs, the hellos, and all the good manners, and the lovely stuff that makes Starcraft community just so bloody amazing. Because it's the most well-mannered community ever. It's all the nice people playing each other, being all polite while they rip each other to shreds. It's lovely. It's good stuff. It's just good. So we have a Zerg versus Zerg, and of course it is LiquidTLO, because as you know, I got tons of replays with him in them. Right, so, just another quick reminder, remember to ask for those specific players or matchups that you desire. And, on a side note, I'm even thinking about casting some League of Legends perhaps at some stage. So if that's something that you think would be fun to watch, if you think that me casting League of Legends and making myself just sound completely silly, then if you think that's a good idea, let me know, and I will endeavor to do so. We have the drones turning themselves into hatcheries. It's going to be hatch first out of both players, because they like to macro up, and I'm sure that soon they will have those spawning pools on the way. Who's going to blink first and get that spawning pool? That is the question. Who will blink first? These two overlords just saying hi and bye, you know, how you doing? No, I'm good. Did you have your coffee? How was it? No, it was sort of okay. You know, someone put rat poison in the coffee again. And we have the spawning pool from Ben like a millisecond before TLO. And we have an extractor for TLO as well. And now we have an extractor for Ben! Pretty much exactly the same builds out of these players, and I'm sure that they will start splitting off. Any moment now, they will start doing very, very different things. And we have LiquidTLO's Overlord creeping into Ben's base, seeing everything that Ben is up to. It's always good to know what your opponent's doing. Just as a general rule, that's quite helpful. LiquidTLO's Overlord sneakily sneaking. He's like a rogue from World of Warcraft. He has made sure to get all those points in stealth. He is ready to sneak on out of that base again. Before the queens pitch up and start throwing darts at him like he's some kind of dartboard on the wall of a bar. See, it's not very nice. You don't just throw darts at people. That's not really a person. It's kind of like a gigantic, I don't even know what to call that thing. It's kind of just, ugh, gross, I guess. But hey, you know, it's serving its purpose. It's helping out its beloved TLO. And this Overlord's starting to feel a little bit scared because he is outnumbered. There's a whole bunch of red Overlords, and he's just this little blue Overlord, and he's starting to get the chills, getting a little bit freaked out. And we have Metabolic Boost on the way for both players. We have Bailing Nests on the way for both players. And TLO is, as always, going to be using some kind of wall-in with his buildings, because that's what he loves to do in Zerg versus Zerg. And it works, so why not? I'm sure he'll plop down like an evolution chamber or something there, just to finish off that semi-wall. All these little blue and red dots running around the map at the speed of a very, very slow snail. Have a couple of lings out now. Probably going to go diving for those watchtowers, or maybe they'll just try and attack. You can never know in Zerg versus Zerg. Usually it means to attack. That's one of the nice things about Zerg versus Zerg. There's always so much attacking action. Everyone's trying to kill each other constantly. No one is ever safe. And we have Lair Tech on the way for Ben, and we have a third on the way for LiquidTLO. Ben sees this though because he has that trustful blue Overlord just chilling above. And we have an evolution chamber on the way. There we go, there it is. Just finishing off that semi-wall. And we have a Roach Warren on the way for LiquidTLO as well. A couple of Banelings being morphed for Ben. Looks like they had a bit of a pause, but as the commentators and everything, we don't even have to wait for the pauses. We just get to watch non-stop, keep going, and see all the action. And we have a third on the way for Ben as well. It's unbelievably hot in this room. I think I might be slowly cooking. I feel a bit like I'm in a frying pan. We have a couple of blue Zerglings on the way to TLO's base, and we have a whole bunch of these Banelings morphing. Will they finish in time? Zerglings are going to be picking on this hatchery, which is just about to finish. We've got a couple of TLO's Zerglings saying, "Get away! What are you doing here? Get lost! We don't like you." A couple of TLO Banelings now out as well. Ooh, these Baneling micro fights are always just so intense. Have you ever actually tried to micro Banelings? Unless you're a pro, it is unbelievably difficult. A couple of Zerglings lose their lives to Banelings, which is an unbelievable win for them. Because if you could sacrifice one Zergling for one Baneling every time, you'd be doing pretty well for yourself. We have a Spire now on the way for Ben as well, which might be quite difficult for TLO to deal with unless he gets some kind of anti-air attack. We have a couple of Spore Crawlers going up. There's the Spire just chilling over there. We have an Overlord slowly drifting along the base of Ben. Look at that, just throwing those darts. Bullseye, 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 bullseye. And the champion dart thrower of the year is this queen in particular with 1 kill and the rank of Predator. We have an Infestation Pit now on the way for TLO, so he can fungal all of those Mutalisks. We have 9 Mutas on the way now. A whole bunch of blue Lings running all over the place. I just love those Zerg matchups because you just see all these weird little colors scurrying around the map at light speed. And this poor little blue Overlord is now dying because this queen's saying, "I hereby challenge you for the rank of Ultimate Dart Thrower." And look at that shot. Did you see that range? It's incredible. I think this is the new champion Dart Thrower. This queen's going to have to defend the title. And now we have some mutas, but that doesn't count when you've got like 20 of you. It doesn't count when you get some kills. Alright, I'm just saying it does not count. A couple of TLO Overlords are in a very, very not nice spot to be in. And he's going to have to pull those back or just lose more and more. It's actually nearly supply blocked completely because of all those Overlord kills. It's one of the downsides of Overlords. They're so unbelievably useful to scout with, but people can kill them a lot easier than you can kill a supply depot, for instance. And we have that lonely Spore Crawler. He's trying to stand against the tides of Mutalisks. He's saying, "I will hold back the tide." And indeed, it looks like he's doing his bit, but he will die. He will die with honor. He will die with honor, trying to defend so amazingly. And it looks like we had a whole bunch of Zerglings just die to the ultimate Baneling strike, just taking out that gigantic pack of Lings. And we have Infestors on the way now for TLO. So those Mutas, they need to be careful because those Fungals will kill you. And we have another base on the way for Ben. A couple of Roaches just running around for TLO. A couple of Lings might sneak in to the base, just checking out. Oh, what are you up to? What are you building in here? You trying to sneak anything by me? No, I'm not trying to sneak anything by you. Why would I do that, says Ben, as the Zerglings run around saying, "Yeah, I'm sure about that. I'm totally sure that you would never do anything like that." And we have a Roach Warren on the way for Ben as well, so we're going to have some Roach Infestor action, just killing everything. He still has those Mutas out on the field, so that could be quite nice to get a few drone kills if he wants to just run those into one of the bases. But there are a couple of Spore Crawlers up. Looks like this is probably the one with the least Spore Crawlers. And we have another base up now for TLO, just being built. While this one's just finished up for Ben, who's having fun with that 4th base. And giving himself some extractors too. Oh, we have a bit of an Overlord party. Look at how hunched up they are together. They're all huddling together, talking about the gossip. You know, all that lovely gossips. Didn't you know that Overlords love to gossip? Well, what else do you do if you can't attack? You just have to sit around and you talk about all the other Zergs. Got a couple of Mutas over a whole bunch of infested Terrans. All these infestors just lobbing out infested Terrans at each other. We've got an infested Terran party. It looks like all the Mutas are going to lose their lives at this party. Infested Terran overdose is not a nice way to go. It's just not a nice way to go. But it will be cleaned up by Ben, but not before it does a bit of damage as well. Looks like we might... Will he get that last drone kill? No, he will not! He's feeling very, very unhappy at the moment. That final drone managing to elude him and escape with its life. We have a Hydralisk Den on the way for Ben. I just love some Hydras. It's like one of my favorite units. Zealots, Hydras, they're all fantastic, lovely units. I just love watching them because Zealots, they never die and they hack everything to pieces, and Hydras just look totally badass while they shoot spines at you. They're a bit like super queens. Like if you buffed queens to an unbelievable level, that would be a Hydra. They are the dart-throwing champions. No queen shall ever stand against them. We have 16 Hydralisks on the way for Ben, but it looks like TLO has the same idea, and while he does not have quite so many Hydralisks on the way, he does have some Hydralisks on the way, and for some reason we have a bit of a lag spike. My computer is even throwing me a bit of a black screen, and everything is just saying, oh no, this is so intense. Looks like TLO's army is slightly more expensive than Ben's, which means that it is most likely got more infestors. Does it have more infestors? No, it does not. Oh, yes, it does. What am I speaking? I'm confusing the red and the blue here. Just ignore me. He has more infestors. Definitely has more infestors. Going back to the production tab, we have the upgrades, all of those lovely, lovely upgrades. And they're both pretty much maxed out, so we should see some kind of maxed out confrontation at any moment. Stop lagging, computer. I have faith in you. You can do it. Come on. I'm rooting for you, computer. You're the player in this matchup that really deserves all the credit. We have some fungals going down. A whole bunch of roaches are going to die now. A couple of infestors might die before they can actually throw out anything. Massive fungal on pretty much every single one of TLO's roaches in that pile there. We have a couple of Hydras really getting out the damage. A couple of fungals on the Hydras as well. Ben's Hydras are being focused down, but TLO's supply is plummeting. Still got these infestors. A couple of fungals in them. And it looks like TLO will win this engagement. As he manages to take out pretty much the whole of Ben's army, while still keeping a whole massive 2 Hydralisks and a whole bunch of infestors alive, as well as this one roach who's just like, hey, what's up, bro? I survived the apocalypse. What did you do for the weekend? And we have an Overseer morphing as well. We have the Spine Crawler wall for Ben, making this his nice strong point. But TLO is going to say, hey, guess what? I'm going to go to the high ground and start mauling your drones and just sort of spit at them with my roaches and shoot darts at them with my Hydralisks until every single one of them is dead or runs away. I have a nice fungal on all those roaches. He even manages to nab the Overseer for a lot of damage. Huge damage to this drone line as well, while this base for TLO is doing quite well for itself. It is happy. We have Ben taking another base, and it looks like we have TLO taking another base as well. Bit of an engagement over here. The infestors are going to need to throw out some fungals or run away or do something. Looks like we might see some infestor deaths because they're not moving. What are you doing, infestors? Run away! Run! Save yourselves! We have a couple of roaches nearly dead, and one roach does lose their life. And now they're going to run away, because guess what? TLO's army is now back, and my computer is just barely able to handle all this Zerg versus Zerg action. All this action-packed moment. All these action-packed moments. I'm not sure who it's rooting for. Every single time we have an engagement, it's always going, oh, and it cringes. Because it's seeing all those units die, and it feels sorry for them. We have a couple of roaches just shooting that extractor until it explodes into a bunch of goop. And it looks like we have Ben moving down the map, might be going for some kind of attack on TLO's base. He's saying, get away from my base. I've had enough of this. It's time I counterattacked you, because this is what Zerg is all about. I'm going to counterattack you all over the place. And now this queen is going to die. Oh, it's a horrible death to die to that roach spit. It's the kind of that acidic, and then you die screaming. It's quite nice. Not nice at all. We have a couple of fungals on the roaches. This is going to be cleaned up, but not before it manages to kill off that base. We have a whole bunch of burrowed LiquidTLO infestors just chilling out over here, ready to lob out all of those infested Terrans all over the place. And the space is going strong for Ben, while TLO's is barely doing anything. It's got that one lone drone who's just chilling out. He's enjoying the alone time to think about the universe while he mines away. We have a bit of an engagement. Ben is behind in supply, but as Zerg you can replenish that pretty quickly, but he is still behind in supply. 187 to 199. Looks like TLO is moving up and down the map, up and down, up and down. He may go for an attack on this base. Try and single target that down. If he can get that down, it would be quite a nice win for him. And it looks like Ben is out of position. It looks like he will be able to single target this base down before Ben can get there. And Ben's only sending like half his army, which is going to die, because guess what? The whole of TLO's army is basically there with the occasional, or the couple of people over here just to shoot some drones if the opportunity presents itself. And yes, the base does fall. We have fungals, we have roaches shooting each other, we have hydralisks shooting each other, we have all that the death and the gore, and look at all that blood. That used to be your army, and now not so much. It is now one with the earth. A couple of burrowed hydralisks, but we have an overseer showing up saying, hey, you try to be sneaky. You don't try and be sneaky on my watch. But TLO is now going inside the base of Ben, who is in a very tight spot with only 144 supply to TLO's 194. TLO senses this, and he is all over the space, just killing everything. He might be able to take down the natural, maybe some tech structures, and just shut down Ben completely, who is in an extremely tight spot himself. He's gone for a counterattack over here, and it is not going very well for him. He might just be able to take out this base, but he is going to lose everything unless he comes running home. TLO is just so far ahead in terms of supply. We have a whole bunch of infested Terrans, and TLO's natural. They aren't doing as much as TLO is doing to him. And we have a GG from Ben. LiquidTLO has won the game. Congratulations, TLO. I will see you again, because I have more of your games. So of course I'll see you again. What did you think I was going to do? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Cheerio.